It has now been 1 month since I traveled from Vancouver, British Columbia, all the way to Istanbul, Turkey to get a hair transplant. Now you guys may be wondering, Leaf, you do not look like you've had a hair transplant at all. You have a full head of hair. What is going on? Well, my hairline has always sat just a bit higher than I wanted it to. So after checking out all my options, I found a clinic in Turkey that had great results with their clients, booked my ticket, and headed over to speak with the doctors. Once I landed in Istanbul, I was met with my own personal chauffeur who drove me from the airport to my hotel. Now, I had arrived 2 days before my surgery, so I took this opportunity to explore all of the amazing things that Turkey has to offer. If you guys have not yet been to Turkey, I would highly recommend it. The food is incredible, the people are so nice, and the city of Istanbul itself is absolutely gorgeous. Once surgery day came around, I got up nice and early to take some shots of my hairline and give some final thoughts before heading in for the procedure.
I'm about to head over to the clinic. I'm really excited. I have no idea how long it's going to take, but you know, I don't think it's going to be much just because I just want to lower my hairline just a bit. But yeah, this is the final time I will see my hairline like this. Just overall, forehead's pretty big, so I'm just going to bring it down by like, you know, solid like probably half an inch down. Yeah, so without further ado, let's head to the clinic.
So after that, I got picked up by another driver who drove me from my hotel to the clinic, where I met up with the doctors to decide where I want my new hairline to sit.
We will start from this line. From this line until this line. In these areas, we will work very high density.
Okay, how many grafts do you think we take?
Maybe maximum 2,000 maximum.
So after discussing how many grafts would be necessary for the transplant, the doctors came up with 2,000 grafts, which at the beginning seemed like quite a lot for me, but they assured me that this was the perfect amount to give a natural and dense look to my hairline. Once the consultation had finished, it was straight to the operation room, where the surgery itself took around 4 hours. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty painful, especially in the beginning phase, just because they do so many injections. The first like 20 injections you feel 100% of. Once the anesthesia had kicked in, the surgery was very comfortable. I didn't feel anything, just some slight tugging and pulling on the scalp. It was actually so comfortable that I was even dozing off during the final half of the surgery, going in and out of naps. So, you know, not so bad at the very end of it. After the surgery was completed, they bandaged up my head to prevent it from leaking, just because you have quite a lot of blood at the end of the procedure. At this phase, I was able to actually see my new hairline, which I was so stoked about. The doctors did such an incredible job on it. Really made the whole thing worth it. At this point after the procedure, of course, while I was so happy to see my new hairline, I could not wait to get back to my hotel to get some rest. I was so tired from the surgery. Unfortunately, on the ride back to the hotel, my anesthesia had worn off completely, and that is when things got way worse. Now, obviously, I had done a ton of research going into the surgery on all the things like recovery time, you know, things that you're supposed to do before the surgery. And one of the things that I looked into that I think all of you guys would also be curious about is pain. How painful is the surgery? And it turns out that the pain varies quite a bit person to person. Some people are able to sleep it off right after the surgery, and others don't react so well to it. I unfortunately was not one of those lucky people that just could sleep it off. I ended up having to take quite a few Tylenol pills, and it took quite a while for this pain to go down. It took maybe 4 or 5 hours. Unfortunately, they didn't give me anything stronger than Tylenol, so I was just forced to take obviously the maximum dose of Tylenol that I could and just wait it out, which really sucked. Once the pain wore off, I was finally able to get some sleep, and I woke up the next day feeling way better. So at this point, I was able to whip my camera out and record a update on how I was feeling the next day, and also the days after that. So in this next portion of the video, I'm just gonna be showing you guys my back-to-back progress updates while on my recovery journey in Istanbul.
Alright guys, so this is the day 2 update. So this is the day after the hair transplant. So as you guys can see, there's still blood. Obviously, it's a day after. Right now, I'm not actually having too much pain. It's pretty, like the pain it's not actually that bad. But yesterday, when the anesthesia wore off, the pain was excruciating. It was so bad that I couldn't even record the video. I was literally on the ground in a fetal position. But we're past it now, and I'm really excited for this new hairline to grow in. I think it looks great. I think we got it down, I don't know, maybe like half an inch down. But yeah, so that's the update right now. I'm currently waiting. I'm gonna be going back to the clinic in like 20 minutes because they're gonna take off these bandages. I feel some like moisture, like it's definitely like some blood or whatever, or some discharge in the back here. Not too much here, but in the back, I definitely feel like there's something coming out of my head, which is kind of gross. So I'm excited for them to take this off and wipe me down with it. But I'll keep you guys updated later today. My head right now looks very, very big. I don't know if you guys can see this. That is all bloating. Look like Megamind or a beluga whale from the side. Okay guys, so this is the day 4 update. So far looking really, really good. I'm so happy with how it's coming along. The swelling is almost completely gone. As you guys can see, check around my head. With the swelling gone, the last thing that still has to go, which I find is crazy, is that it's formed some discoloration around my eye, which literally looks like I've been punched in the face. Like it looks exactly like a black eye, which is really funny. They think I got in some sort of a street fight. So yeah, that's pretty funny. But the actual hairline is looking really, really good. As you guys can see right now, the scabs are just developing. So the hair follicles are super close together. So I'm thinking that it's just gonna create one giant scab across the whole thing versus, you know, causing a bunch of patches. But yeah, they've gotten, you know, the widow's peaks completely covered, shaded in. And overall, I'm just super happy with where my hairline is now sitting. What else? In terms of the discomfort and pain, there's really no pain right now. There is like some, you know, slight discomfort in the back of my hair where they pulled out the hair, which is to be expected. But the recipient area is totally fine, like really not that much pain at all. I'm also sick, which really sucks. Like literally right after the surgery, I got sick, which is super annoying. So I'm dealing with a really stuffy nose and coughing all the time, which is just horrible timing. But yeah. So far, I'm really liking it.
So as you guys can see, the recovery process went quite smooth up until around day 6 when I unfortunately got sick, but it wasn't that big of a deal, just this minor stuffy nose, you know, sore throat. It wasn't too bad. The next eventful day took place on day 12 where I was finally cleared to wash off all the scabs that had formed on the top of my head.
Okay, so they've instructed me to do this for a half an hour, so I'm gonna have to just rub this gently for 30 minutes straight. I feel some of the scabs coming off already though, so I'm pretty sure all of them are gonna be completely off by the time I finish.
Now the most rewarding part of this entire recovery process was once I finally got the scabs washed off, I got to see what lied underneath, which was the new baby hairs. So fast forward to today, we are now exactly 30 days since the procedure was done, and I'm going to be showing you guys now what is underneath my hair here and give you guys the 1 month progress update. As you guys can see, the surgery was a success. Baby hairs are still there. Some of them have fallen out in the corner here, which is totally normal. This is just a part of the recovery process, and I am gonna be going through the shedding phase here pretty soon. So this has been my recovery timeline after getting a hair transplant in Turkey. I'm definitely gonna keep you guys updated. They said that you can expect 50% of the growth results to happen around the 6-month mark and the full results to happen around a year. So if you guys are interested in following my progress over the next year, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.